I'm showing here probably one of the most brutal breaking of the law, multiple laws by multiple prosecution offices of Serbia, and one who was primary in this was high instance prosecution of Smederevo, which is the city in Serbia. So this is their page. I will use it as a thumbnail. So I just need to record it together with this address. It should be enough. Okay, so the one who was acting in this case was Deputy Prosecutor Mrkić. I'm opening the mail he sent on 3rd of August 2021. So this is the email. That's them. This is their email. So they want me to confirm that I received this email. So this is the same date when they sent the email. So it's the same date of the decision of the request. So he requested here Saša Mrkić, Deputy Prosecutor, because the main prosecutor is just controlling what deputy prosecutors are doing. In rare cases he will act on some crime report, unless it is something that's really important for the state. So, but this is really rare. So he said here that higher instance prosecution, so higher instance prosecution, I forgot to mention, are by definition prosecution offices which are in charge of investigating major crimes, so serious crimes like murders and stuff like that. So he said here that he wrote here that higher instance prosecution. This is literal, if I literally translate it. So higher instance prosecution of Belgrade forwarded my crime report. So he said here crime report that I filed using email on 9th of July 2021, and it was sorry, it was against Judge SLADJANA BOJKOVIĆ of higher instance court of Smederevo. So this is the court which is in charge on decision of lower instance court. They usually don't have anything to do with the citizens, so only they're dealing with court decision, lower instance court decisions. So and he forgot to mention here that she is not a regular judge but a president of that court. This is very important. But they cannot, from the content of that crime report, it should be here crime report, not just report. They cannot see what was the what were the cases that she was acting on. So I have 8 days to clean up my crime report and give the cases mentioned, so that they can act on this report, crime report. And if I don't do that, they will drop my or reject, I don't know what's the right word. Dismiss the criminal charges, maybe. I don't know. So I don't know if these are the charges. This is just my claims. These are just my claims. Charges should be something else. But anyways, so right after that, I answered. So everything else in this email thread are just responses, because I wrote, I sent this to a lot of recipients. So this is just sent to that prosecution office, but this one is sent forwarded to a lot of prosecution offices, state institutions in general, journalists, and so on and so on. So after I did this, I had some problems reported with the email, probably because there were a lot of recipients, and I sent, this is the another list of recipients that I sent in order to avoid bulk email report or problem. And that's it. This is the end of the email thread. So what I wrote here, I asked him to invoke the law which can force me to give explanation to a crime report, because crime report is something that prosecutors act by official duty or ex officio, and I stated the law. I invoked the law, so this is Article 280, paragraph 3. 280, paragraph 3. It doesn't say anything that I should about cleaning up my crime report, giving additional explanations, and this is very important. So acting, this defines how Article 282, this defines how a state prosecutor acts when he receives something that is crime report. So according to law, I don't even need to write crime report as the title of that report. I just wrote something that I find out, some event or similar that has elements of criminal activity, and that's it. And it says here exactly that. Again, this is this part of the law. So this is the law on criminal proceedings. So this part of the law is pre-investigation proceeding or procedure. So things that are done before investigation started. So to clear up everything regarding the crime report and to see if it is crime or if it is maybe private lawsuit and so on and so on. So this is the other article says that. So this first article, which I first mentioned, says who can file a crime report. And something that I just said, that I describe everything I knew, and that's it. So the next one is how I can file a crime report and how it is archived. So it can be filed to acting state prosecutor. If it is verbal, then there will be a note, and so on and so on. If it is by phone or other telecommunication ways, so if it is by phone, it means that it can be anonymous. This is very important because a lot of those prosecution offices were asking me to send my emails using e-signature, electronic signature, but according to this they cannot ask for that if it is a crime report, and it was a crime report. Actually, those were crime reports, all of them, all the mails I sent. So and if it is filed by email, it will be saved on data carrier. This is what it says here. I don't know if I can use that term, which means DVD or CD, because this is also another problem with the prosecution offices. They assume this is a hard disk. It cannot be hard disk because it needs to be part of the case physically. So it can be only CD or DVD or maybe Blu-ray, which is finalized. So nothing should be. So no one should be able to read there. This is something that actually doesn't have anything to do with the law, but this is common knowledge on electronic data storage. So and of course it needs to be printed. And this is also very important if the crime report was filed to police, non-acting state attorney, or the court. Most people don't know that you can file crime report also to the court. They will receive the crime report and immediately, this is extremely important, send it to acting state prosecutor. And the most important one, again, how state prosecutor acts after receiving crime report, or something that looks like crime report. So here If you cannot figure out from the crime report whether the described events or facts are true, and there are not enough basis to start investigation, or he find out about this crime report by some other means, the state prosecutor will collect needed data alone by himself. So by himself, and he's asking me here, that guy, prosecutor, state deputy prosecutor, to do his job basically. Ask citizens to give statements, which is not the case here. And the third one, he will ask state institutions, firms and so on, to give him needed information. So and this is what he does if people don't cooperate. And also this is important, if he cannot do it by himself, he can ask police to do it. And this is what police needs to do in that process. And of course here, during collecting those piece of information, they must take care on not to do something that will harm other people, privacies, their honor, and so on and so on. So this is basically what this basically is saying, that he's doing everything independently. So he didn't ask me to give statement, so he just pretends that he doesn't know how to use how to use internet, or more precisely my videos on YouTube. I can put crime report in whichever form I want, or in whichever and in whichever way. So the form by the meaning of whether it is video or written, or written crime report, or just audio, and so on and so on. And I can even send it as anonymous party. So he just pretends he doesn't know that, and here is my response. So as I said, I reminded him that he needs to do everything independently by himself. This is the article and paragraph that I mentioned, and I said that I have everything on G Drive, and that for instance, prosecution of Belgrade should have sent that to him, although he also had that. I will show this in a minute. And also I also mentioned my YouTube and Twitter account. So again, I can put pieces of evidence wherever I want. There's no law who will prevent me this, and I can use whichever platform I want. So I mentioned my ID is there in the picture of my profile to prove my identity. And again, I reminded him that he needs to do everything independently, and ask him to inform me if prosecution who from Belgrade sent him those addresses, so addresses on my G Drive, YouTube and Twitter accounts and so on and so on. And I described here those pieces of evidence. How this monster who murdered 3 members of my family is dangerous. She's psycho, real psycho. And so on. I also mentioned there are a lot of people who are involved, not just president of the court. And I also reminded him it's international case because Interpol is involved. There is a video on my YouTube channel which proves Interpol is involved. And I also mentioned some other prosecution offices and so on and so on. The other piece of information missing from his request for additional information is invoking the law which enabled High Instance Prosecution of Belgrade to forward that crime report to him, because they should forward this to international institutions. And I mentioned this Interpol folder on G Drive. I also asked something that I have a right to know, according to the law, who sent this crime report to him. Was it a prosecutor or a deputy prosecutor, and so on and so on. And I also mentioned that there were like 200 recipients who received that email, and I haven't explicitly stated that this is for this state prosecution office. And this is also important. I mentioned that there are a lot of other crime reports which I'm going to show right now, that they simply ignore. So they cherry picked one that has the information they needed, and they forwarded this to basically someone who is below them, because Belgrade prosecution offices are the main ones. So I asked him kindly here to again I asked him to tell me if he has all those data, although his prosecution office received that email. So and the last part, I asked him to send me, I have a right according to the law to send me that crime report that he received from prosecution office from Belgrade, because I cannot know if they forwarded everything I sent. And his prosecution office from Smederevo was also in that list of recipient, so he also have that crime report. And again, if we go here, he said it was my crime report sent by email on 9th of July 2021. So what I need to do is to switch this. And see what will happen. So this is this was on 9th of July. And this is also so this is the one, and it is also important to show other ones. So this one is very important. So this is on international organized crime and illegal arms trade. I sent to, as you can see, U.S. Attorney General, Department of Justice, and Senate. This was a key point in everything, and I forwarded that to Belgrade. Here is the Belgrade High-Instance Prosecution, and there should be also here prosecution from yeah, and this is his prosecution, so he also had that, but they're not doing anything about it. And these are just some mail delivery problems. And what is also important, this email has the has a version, recorded video of it, which is here. Sorry, this is about Interpol. I mentioned that Interpol involved thing, and this is that email on I sent to U.S. Department of Justice, and all of them, all state prosecutions involved have my YouTube channel, address on my YouTube channel, I prove that in this video that has Interpol in its title. So in that video I proved that they all have those addresses, so he's just pretending he doesn't know that. There is another mail thread. This is something from State Council of Prosecutors. This is the body that chooses the prosecutors. So there are a lot of emails. So the ones that contain his prosecution is is automatically expanded. So I'm just showing how many crime reports are here, and he's just ignoring that, and also the high instance prosecution of Belgrade. But I think that I don't have here prosecution office from Belgrade. It's probably in the other mail that I forwarded. Again, yeah, here it is. This is High Prosecution Office from Belgrade, and it contains all previous emails, can be seen here. So both prosecution offices from Belgrade and Smederevo, where Mr. MRKIĆ works, have this and all other previous. So there are a lot of here, like 21, and some really have a lot of responses. And this is the one he mentioned, so 9th of July. This one, so 9th of July, and it shows here that his prosecution office also received it, and of course the prosecution office from Belgrade, because they forwarded it. And I'm trying to find their, yeah, here's their email. They changed it recently, but you can see from my emails that that's their address, email address. So he had this crime report. I mean, it is crime report. He questions whether it is crime report. So he had that and all the other crime reports. So he's just ignoring other crime reports, and he took this one, which is something that probably suits them the most. So, and then let's see what happens when they returned. When he sent his decision, so this is his decision, and he is invoking Article 284, which is basically right after those articles which are part of pre-investigating procedure, and he, according to his answer, this is Article 284, paragraph 3, paragraph 1.3, which says that there are not enough evidence to act ex officio or by the definition of his job. So he's simply pretending he didn't receive my email, and I will show here in the in his explanation within this decision he sent, how he did that, how he's brutally manipulating the law. So this is the key part, how he did that. They simply needed to make everything look like the judge didn't do anything wrong and that they did everything to investigate it, which is of course a huge fraud. So he said here, according to 284, so again law on criminal proceedings, so this is not important, so 284 first paragraph point 3, there is no reasonable doubt that there was a crime committed. Right. To act ex officio by the definition of your job or by the definition of your duty. So this is how he understood this, the whole thing, and they dropped my crime report. And he said here that the crime was, they decided the crime was, and of course they didn't want to send me that decision. I have a right according to the law on that decision. So they decided this is some minor, the crime according to crime law of Serbia is Article 360, paragraph 1, and which is named breaking of the law by the judge, state attorney or state prosecutor and or his deputy. So as I just said, they decided there are no reasonable doubt there were crime committed, nor the other crime, nor the other type of crime, which they act ex officio by the definition of their job. If I'm not satisfied with this decision, I have 8 days to since after I receive this, I have 8 days to file a complaint, right, to state prosecution office of appeal or appeals in Belgrade, and through that prosecution office, of course this doesn't apply in this case, as the deputy prosecutor here, Saša Mrkić, committed major frauds, major crimes, and I can file another crime report against him anytime I want. So he sent me the decision. So this is just a note, but he sent me the decision from 6th of September 2021. So this is the decision. This is the number of the case, 42/21, so on and so on. This is the same article. They dismissed my crime report. This is what he also what he said basically in the note. So he explained what happened. That higher instance prosecution of Belgrade sent this crime report with this number on 22nd July 2021 to their prosecution office. Again, the same thing. So this is their this is a DA request. He mentioned request where he asked me to do his job, the one that I presented at the beginning of this video. Then he said I answered on 4th of August, although it was on 3rd of August. I showed that, I think, in the so it's the 3rd of August. He got that wrong. And then what's this? And he said I simply haven't provided what he asked, but he didn't say I said everything is already sent. He simply ignored that, never mentioned it, which is against the law. This is a major fraud. And then he explained how he acted. He asked the court to give him everything they have on my case. These are the number of the cases. They don't want to send me any of these. And the court did the same as this prosecution and other prosecution courts. They simply ignored my major pieces of evidence, pretending they doesn't exist, and they don't know how to use G Drive, YouTube, and Twitter, and so on and so on. So I think this thing is enough that I when he stated here that I just haven't sent what he wanted, although I informed him that his prosecution has everything, and he simply pretended that he simply ignored that. This part is the main. So he simply ignored what I wrote. He needs to answer my questions, and he needed, according to the law of free access to information, freedom of information. So he needed to. I mean, this is my crime report, and so he simply ignored all of that. Didn't want to send me the original report. They forwarded to him. So he's simply ignoring all the facts that are against the judge and everything that suits him. So he explained what was the crime of the judge, and concluded that I haven't sent what he wanted. Although I said that he has everything he needs. And that's it. So this is how, and of course all the other prosecution offices are aware of this, of what happened, because I sent this to to the highest instance prosecution offices. I'm just trying to find the RJT, which is Republic Prosecution Office, the highest instance. Here it is. This is the highest instance of prosecution. So a lot of prosecution offices here, a lot of courts, because again I can file a report, crime report to court as well. So they simply ignored everything. And this, what is also very important here is this. In most of the cases, everything which is related to judges, all the offenses of the judges, crimes and so on and so on, are usually handled by high. This translation is wrong. So High Council of Judiciary, not of the court, because this is, if you translate it. Yeah, or judiciary. So they translated this incorrectly, but anyways, so usually they have their bodies with which deals with crimes and all the problems with the judges, because this is the body of state body which creates the list of judges to be elected by the parliament. So very, very important. And the management of this body is the same as the management of Supreme Court of Serbia, which is here. And you could see in mail that I just showed that they also received this. Actually, their name is Supreme Cassation, Court of Cassation. This cassation, I forgot what this is. Okay. Cassation. Okay. So this is when you annulment. Okay, makes sense. So I sent that email and all the other emails to that court, and they are doing nothing. So this is a really unusual situation when the two high instance prosecution offices, which are in charge, as I said, for major crimes like serious crimes like murders and so on and so on. So they acted, so one in Belgrade and one in Smederevo, where they forwarded my crime report. They acted on a judge committing crime, and you see how they tried to make everything look fine and nice and so on, but that doesn't hold water. I think this is the right term. So the judge was charged with some serious crimes, and again, this is really something that's not seen in practice. So that body that I mentioned, Council, High Council of Judiciary, usually doing everything. So and of course, this is not the only case. They did the same. So the same prosecution officers did the same for the judge of Law Instance or Elementary Court of Smederevo, which was in charge on inheritance proceedings for my late father, and they basically did the same as with this judge or president of the High Instance Court, and it was just the other deputy prosecutor, and I will, Vesna Mladenović, from High Instance Prosecution of Smederevo, and I will create another video on her brutal breaking of multiple laws. But for now, I'm done with Mr. Mrkić, deputy prosecutor, and all the other above him.